Hare Krishna. Question from Stoka Krishna Prabhu. Shouldn't we be telling people the highest standard instead of telling them the highest standard of serious bhakti, instead of telling them to pursue their material desires for position and power in this world? I have seen in my 25-30 years of career that once one gets caught in the career, it's very difficult to practice even basic spiritual life. And people can take the statement that we can pursue our career as a license to just give up the practice of spiritual life, and then they just get caught completely in material illusion. Isn't it better that we just tell them the highest standard? Answer: yes, the highest standard has to be told, but in spiritual life there are the stars and there are the stairs. If we just tell people what is the star, the star is so high up in the sky that it seems unattainable. And if that is all that we show, then people will just say, forget it, I cannot get there only. There are the stars and there are the stairs. Stairs means the step by step which will eventually take us. That is the miracle of bhakti. That normally stairs cannot take us to a star, but the small steps that we take towards Krishna, their cumulative effect, which will be expanded by Krishna's omnipotent mercy, will take us to the stars, will enable us to attain heights of purity that we can't even imagine right now. So now, as a part of showing the stairs, what does it imply? We see in the story of Narad Muni and Dhruva. Narad Muni did tell Dhruva, "Oh, why are you such a small child? Don't worry, just tolerate this." And Dhruva said, "No, I can't tolerate. I can't tolerate. So then, it's not in my blood. I'm a Kshatriya. So you tell me a way how I can get even. In fact, not even just get even, I want to get better than those who have snubbed me." So then Narad Muni saw that, he told him to do bhakti. And he did bhakti and he got Krishna, and he got Krishna darshan, and he got the kingdom by that. Now, yes, in this particular story, yes, Narad Muni did tell him to do bhakti, to attain Krishna, to attain his kingdom. But the point was, Narad Muni did not reject his desire entirely. He offered him a process by which his desire could be fulfilled within the realm of bhakti. So the point is, the desire itself he was not told to renounce the desire. The modality of fulfilling the desire may vary according to place, but the point is that he was not told to reject his desire. So now there are three different things over here. One is the rejection of worldly desires for power, position, for the sake of cultivating bhakti. The second is so this is what we call the highest standard. Then there is the other extreme, that is the negligence or even the rejection of bhakti and spiritual standards for the pursuit of material position and power. And the third is the reconciliation of the two according to individual nature and position. In individual position, so situation and disposition. Situation is the external, disposition is the internal. So now, certainly, the third is not to be recommended. Sorry, the third means the lowest level, that rejecting bhakti for the sake of pursuing one's material life, that is not to be recommended. But the first is usually inaccessible for most people. That completely giving up material desires for the sake of practicing bhakti, that is not possible for most people. And insisting that people come to that level, that is, as a matter of siddhanta, fine, but as a matter of guidance at an individual level, that doesn't work. So now, one challenge with online outreach is that an answer that is given to a specific person may be universalized out of the context. So this discussion that we are having is good because it clarifies the context. This problem of neglecting the context comes also, especially in Srila Prabhupada's conversations and letters, which which we often do not know what was the context in which the statements were spoken. So in this particular, so for most devotees, the point is that they have to arrive at some level of reconciliation of how much they will pursue their material careers and aspirations and how much they will pursue their devotion. Now, these two can of course be harmonized. And yes, some people in the pursuit of material career can get entangled, but it's not necessary that that's what has to happen. And material career can also be pursued in a way that need not necessarily be disharmonious. So, for example, there are many Indians who aspire to go to America or to the Western countries in general because they feel that there is a better career available over there. Now, yes, it is easy to get lost in temptation and illusion when one goes to the West, but there are a significant number of people, young people, or people who career-minded people, who went to the West and they were only nominally connected with devotees or not connected with devotees at all, and they became connected with devotees over there and they became serious devotees over there. So the point is, they did not go to America for practicing bhakti. Often, when they wanted to go to America, they were discouraged, and yes, there may be reason for the discouragement also, because America is not just one place. There are different places when one may go to America, and there some places association may be available, some places association may not be available, and so due caution has to be taken. But the point is, there is no guarantee that just by staying in India a person will stay safe in bhakti, and then similarly there is no necessity that just by going to the West a person will fall out of bhakti. So sometimes certain situations may come in a person's life which may require certain material changes. And those material changes, if the person has core sincerity, that person will actually find a way through those material changes to go closer to Krishna. So yes, the point is that everybody has to come to the highest standard of practicing bhakti, purely focused on Krishna, but not everybody can come to that standard. And while people are aspiring towards that standard, they need different levels of accommodation according to their disposition and situation, and that is something which has to be individually worked out. Now, certainly I'm not recommending that people just because we have desires, just pursue those desires, and don't and once your desires are fulfilled, then you can come back and practice bhakti. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that we have to practice bhakti at a basic standard, but according to our particular situation and disposition, we can practice bhakti. We can have different careers and practice bhakti according to our careers. So this is something which is going to individually happen. Now, Srila Prabhupada was strict at one level and Srila Prabhupada is accommodating at another level. And depending on our individual nature, we will quote that aspect of Prabhupada which we like, which inspires us, and that is fine. But if we impose that as the only Prabhupada, then we are actually not representing Prabhupada properly. So Prabhupada gave the highest standard, and Prabhupada also accommodated people who could not come anywhere near the highest standard. And similarly, the Krishna consciousness movement also has to be inclusive in terms of including people who are serious devotees practicing serious standards, and including devotees who want to contribute to Krishna's cause in other ways. So the important thing is that we not alienate anyone from Krishna. Yes, the important thing to remember is that people, whatever happens, they need to have a connection with Krishna. And so, if a person cannot practice bhakti at a particular standard, there are two different things over here. One is that if a person goes away from bhakti, that person may fall into sin. And sin is bad. But if a person is given an instruction that person cannot follow, then that person is likely to commit an offense. Offense not just of disobeying that instruction, but also offense in terms of resenting the guide and rejecting the guide and developing a negative, hateful attitude towards the guide. And the whole process of bhakti centers on the understanding that an offense, an aparad, is far more dangerous than a sin, a pap. So, if we are in a position where we are to guide others, then we may think that our duty is to protect people from falling down to sinful activities. But we are, now, of course, we are not talking about sinful activities. Pursuing a career, we are not talking about that. That is not necessarily sinful. One can do it in a honorable way also. But the point is that if we think that our duty is only to tell people what not to do, or to only tell what is the best thing to do and not talk about anything else, then we are not protecting people from the possibility of offense. So it's not that we think that we are so exalted that people will offend us, but the simple point is somehow or the other, if we are in a position of guiding others, then we are often an important connection of Krishna, a connection with Krishna for people. And we need to present ourselves and present Krishna's message in a way by which people's connection with Krishna is maintained. Sometimes that connection may be strong, sometimes that may be weak. But when people commit offenses, then they just go away from Krishna. So it's important for us that in our interaction with people, that whatever be the mode of the interaction, at the end of the interaction, that person should feel encouraged. Encouraged in the sense that, yes, someone cares for me, someone understands me. This devotee cares for me, understands me. And yes, I may not be able to follow the standards that I am being told right now, but I will be accommodated. This is Krishna's inclusive mood. Yeah, and we as devotees also need to have Krishna's inclusive mood. And yes, if we are inspired by Prabhupada's strictness and that's what we want to manifest, that's what we want to share with those whom we are guiding, that is perfectly fine. But to say that that is the only thing, that is the only way that everyone should present Prabhupada and everyone should present Krishna, that is not an inclusive representation of Srila Prabhupada or inclusive representation of Krishna. Krishna says, Joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samachara. Joshayet. Krishna says, engage all people according to their nature, according to their level, so that they can progress gradually. Thank you. Hare Krishna.